Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the GSL Code A. I am Moletrap. I am here in the secondary studio at the GOMTV offices, still in Seoul, Korea. And I am bringing you the secondary stream of tonight's Code A matches. Excuse me. And we're going to have Monster vs. jookTo coming up in just a moment. We had a nice little series between Supernova and Vines. Supernova basically took Vines and put him at the end of the stick, dumped him in a bucket, and then wiped the floor with him. It was pretty one-sided, but excuse me again. Vines played rather well, just was not up to the same level as Supernova. You know, Vines didn't make any horrible mistakes or anything like that. He wasn't like awful, but he just couldn't quite keep up, basically, is what it came down to. So we're going to get started with game number 1 of Monster vs. jookTo right now. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm having such a problem here with clearing my throat. Alright, over here at the top left-hand side of the map is our first player from Team OGS. It is OGS jookTo. And down here at the bottom right is his opponent. I think he's probably the favorite here. He's been playing very strongly lately, but has gotten knocked down to this. He is MVP Monster. And just to give you guys a little bit of a drop some stats on you guys. Yeah, I think I was saying the Monster is definitely the favorite here because I was looking at jookTo's record and I knew he was pretty bad regardless. Well, I won't say pretty bad, but he doesn't win a lot. I'll put it that way. He actually has a 33% win rate against Zerg players, and so most of those wins have not been in the GSL. He beat some Zergs in the ESV weekly tournaments that have happened recently, actually. But he also lost to some Zergs. He did beat Anyong recently, and but then lost to Koka and Bung Bung. Although Koka and Bung Bung are pretty good. But anyway, he's going to be going up against Monster. Monster was very, very strong. I actually remember getting to cast some of his Code A qualifier games in the previous season, and he was really fun to watch. He had some really good skills, and then in Code A he showed some very strong play as well. And we do have a very early pool and gas for both players. It looks like, I wasn't paying attention to the exact numbers, but it looked like 14 gas, 14 pool for both players. Both setting their overlords out pretty much the same way to scout what their opponent is doing. And also, you want to have your overlords out. You know, if you're playing versus a Terran as a Zerg, you want to make sure your overlords are a little bit hidden because you don't know where these Marines might pop up and kill off your overlords. But in ZVZ, they're not going to get anything that can kill your overlords out on the map for a while. I mean, if you have a queen like right outside of their creep, then sure, a queen can come off the creep and kill it. But if you've got an overlord over here, it's pretty safe until lair tech, so it's good to have something out, you know, an overlord right outside your enemy's ramp so that you can see what units are coming out of their base. And we do have both players starting off with a handful of Zerglings now, with a bit of a deviation already. jookTo has gone for the speed upgrade on his Zerglings, whereas Monster is starting off with the Baneling Nest, following up with the speed upgrade after his first 50 gas were used for the Baneling Nest. So Monster is definitely going to be putting on some aggression here. Now I was talking about how real quick about how jookTo is not very good versus Zerg. Well, on the other hand, Monster's only played 3 games versus Zerg players in the GSL, and he's lost all of them to Gumiho and Golden and Moon. Actually, one of those was from the Zotac Team Invitational. Those were a long time ago, though. We haven't seen any record games from him for some months. So he has hopefully picked up his skills here. A couple Zerglings coming in here for jookTo, just dodging around. He has seen the Baneling Nest now. He knows exactly what is coming. And yes, he's going to be prepared for it. He's running his Zerglings away now. Oh, he does turn to fight. The Baneling morphing actually in the middle of the battle. And that's an interesting choice. Monster just barely able to keep those 3 Zerglings alive, though. Nicely done. More Zerglings coming for jookTo, though. But I think this Baneling is going to be morphed in time. Yes, it will be. So these Zerglings can't do any good unless he micros perfectly. In this kind of micro, you have to try and pull off a single Zergling to attack that Baneling, and you want to not, and there he goes, going in with a single Zergling to kill that Baneling. Beautifully done. Now the player with the Banelings does want to be defensive about it. Does he have any more Banelings morphing? He's making more Speedlings, but it looks like the Speedling count is in favor of Monster, actually. Nope, there goes jookTo. Both players just making tons of Zerglings. Monster making yet more Zerglings, actually, and he is going to go for an attack. jookTo's just going to counter, and this is going to go exactly in Monster's favor, actually, because he's got this defensive Baneling. If he lands that Baneling, it's going to be huge. And, oh no, the Baneling does land on just a single Zerg. In the meantime, Monster going in for an attack here, taking some damage off of that hatchery, and jookTo has half of his Zerglings in Monster's base, so he's forced to bring those back. No, he's actually just going to counter, and there's some Banelings for Monster. He's morphed them in, he's going straight for it. Nice, pulling the 3 Zerglings to attack the 3 Banelings, and none of the Banelings get any drone kills at all. Beautiful defense by jookTo, but are there just going to be too many Zerglings? Spinecrawler doing its best, but it is almost dead. There it dies, and jookTo is able to clean up, but at what cost? They are actually at even drone counts. I did not notice that, and it looks like jookTo was doing a little bit of aggression at the same time, but Monster was reinforcing with that Baneling hit, taking out just a few Zerglings. He had the advantage there, and now Monster chasing him back. Monster with a slight lead. He's got 2 Banelings morphing. I'm not sure where they are. Where are those Banelings? There they are, morphing right outside here, and those are going to be exactly what he needs. I'm surprised that jookTo hasn't gotten any tech for this, any Baneling tech of his own, or roaches or something like that. I guess he hasn't had the time. Oh, the Banelings morph! Whoa, and he's forcing him back. He needs to guard those Banelings with his own Zerglings, though, so that they don't just die to one single Zergling. He's going all the way into the main. This is not necessarily the best idea, but there are no Zerglings there. He's going straight for the drone line. Nice split by jookTo. Beautiful split. 2 Banes for 3 drones is not horrible, but oh, another Baneling lands is going to damage those, and he's got to be able to clean up. GG coming from jookTo. Monster takes game number 1. And that was, I have to admit, that was pretty good play out of jookTo. He obviously ended up losing the game, but I gotta hand it to him. He was doing very well at attacking. You want to attack the Banelings with single Zerglings, because it is not cost effective to lose a Baneling to kill 1 Zergling. So, very nicely done by him doing that kind of micro. He didn't really ever lose any huge Baneling hits where a Baneling killed more than 3 or 4 Zerglings and that entire situation. So that was really well done by jookTo, but Monster just had too good of a situation, too good of tactics there. Was able to pull out the win. jookTo even putting that spine in his main supply line to try and defend, but Monster just basically out-macroed him, I guess, had too many Zerglings. And also, you know, he went for the counterattack when jookTo got an expansion, Monster hadn't. And so there was some resources there that he wasn't really using. Anyway, we're going to get into game number 2 in just a moment here at the GSL.